Maybe an feed you. Miss Oblender say. All the American share Miss Obia, how many hours had I?
Or consume 150 kilowatt. So we have calculation at CCR time and 326
Ghana cities.
Ghana cities. Because if you so free, you can back. We'll cry a mod.
Yeah.
When you're old.
Yeah, we like what up brand new.
Brand new.
May the future feed you, madam. May the future feed you.
Adia bia ya sati ehu ekono na de ko investigate obi de ko hu ya ne se em so mu sisi da no mu ye ne modern studio video de na omo fa gas nko omo electric na e consume electricity papa electric kuka wo de hwe wo ba hit na hwe ya ba shi de na.
I mean, you can discuss Akufo-Addo as the president that never was, because he wasn't president. He was just much of some ruler of a sort. He didn't have any regards for any human being.
Mpanyufo se baby anyame ma ebo ma pesi no ho na bonsam so matoto mo ne de tie ne se ne ma pa o mo ye no ebo ebi mo yem.
At that, the NPP decided to do against John Dramani Mahama. No, John Dramani Mahama made 2 over 10 ads no, but since you know Rugo NPP, but once I share video from will be on WhatsApp area. So your conversation straight to the news. Now, about that night, it's in summer. Since people are commenting about this on social media. Now, commenting about there. Over this past few weeks, he had to take some videos of many Ghanaians complaining about ECG bills. And Komana Obiari Ziangde. Obanadana and Koma Yanginano Yangimede O. Ebe Juma, Eba Sol, Ebo use light, Ebo Chiakao. This has been the normal norm for a long period of time, but Obanadan, the CCN and Komana was saying. People are even believing there. As I've been in what account social media crying and corner, people are even citing and even showing certain things to be which is actually very, very, very surprising. But I'm commanding in ano, no cross some woman in eye there. Say, Gabetsi, my walking in ara, then we need to specifically hear from ECG. Oh no, and on your strategy, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency UC. Now the strategy was just to make sure the NPP one day they were will go because Obi will to know what I can't say maybe. But the point is, they will use it in a way and then look for other stories. NPP for the stories and quoting. Cocoa prices better me. They made a lot of stories of fun as far back as Western North, just to tell a certain story that they mean oracle, and so it was not true. It is I don't know what story is behind the scenes. A man for no want to one farmer out. Oh no, in the strategy, John Dramani Mahama you see true one man be often William Boateng. Now, Mr. William Boateng, the director of communications for the electricity company of Ghana, which is the ECG. Now, what about church in Semibima? In some of the NPP. Now, as part of non-common, or can you maybe people actually don't really rely on? We do believe that BB to the kettle, it costs so much. But then, among for the monetary value of the kilowatt watching. And apart from that, this common community young commerce very, very special, but the strategic part of community there. After talking about the very important things, deep freezer around for the whole month around 200 kilowatts, but a kettle being used for the whole month to cost around 2,000 kilowatts. Not there, the little things in our homes consumes more depending on how we see our option so far. But the consumption level, the energy consumption level of these devices, that's bad. And very, very unfortunately, the very people now, very fortunately, the very people now where that complain. One nominal will use that devices, it be 2, it be 3, it be 4. There, even restaurants were even complaining now. This man decided to identify certain things within this restaurant. On my way, the man, at that way, you mistakes. That is the reason why it cost them the electricity bill. Inti how it my mistake more costly. And that NPP for Wafadama story. Now we're creating maybe onto them. Now I am that story and you want to tell us of being so bad 50 biswall sofa. Not to the social media hey, also Damaza Wariano on Yanokar. Now in a problem or different from Diamond Coffee a trophy quoting. Hey, in so changing jandam. He is one of the biggest jandam killers in a long time. But once I share video from a WhatsApp, maybe I share the conversation. Yanko and Sama with whom come over some for Obi was actually very surprised. Yanko the Ambra.
Person structure and the way you know Eddie Amaye. While I look at way to conscientize and go forward energy consumption chart no
see am say omo friend no be ka fridge
yes
e ka question no
okay
and na your fire fridge no 200
in the
watts.
fridge 200 watts
we aba for mpa no
yes
bosome no or consume 150 kilowatt hour so we calculation see time no kwa 326
Ghana cedis.
Ghana cedis. You can say be use fridge nkwa baako. We cry a modern.
Yeah.
We
like what brand new fridge.
No.
Deep freeze. Okay. Yes, deep freeze are any normal fridge in your 200 watts.
And the amount 200. Now the year calculation says yes, and nkwa no we do 326 cedis.
Na the fridge baako pe.
And I fridge
for the whole month. And nkwa over 300 Ghana cedis.
What 300? It is only now calculation or book fu wanya abotre ah no say me fridge back open na me ban me show television me show sport me dum no na yes busu me expensive 200
fridge dey so
yeah and na usage kura kan be kokan ya nkrofo wanya abotre awante usage say nkwara ne ba no mu bia say heat na wa bonti ni wuram and na wo so
asset more power to cool
ti wan hihye ne ama anya ma na anya dwano no aka tetemu start anya dwuma yipe consumption de ma no na me ma example
yeah into for more mo fresh obi me fie no hwi ne o ma me ma mo just a simple way so we use LED bulb no back into bulb ya na say designer bulbs aba obi ho round e so white kama eno nko one 5 to 7 watts 5 to 7 watts. 5 to 7 watts. No, Oma sikasemu ebe ko be saying.
Oh, man, sa chart number.
Okay.
So, but consumption was super. No, yes. Oh, more than one. Let me see ebe ba. Say, ade bia ya start ehu ekono na ade ko investigate bi di ko hu ya ne say. Em so mu sisi da no me ye ne modern studio bi ni ade na. Omo fa gas nko, omo di electric. A consume electricity electric cooker would you share uber heat na share machine there na I heat on
yes in the high consumption a computer with monitor and on 500 watts into a computer monitor can only be so they share music video now share YouTube next so go and on 500 watts 500 watts it means I only fridge and a
fridge nam 200 watts
that's quite 200 watts
na mouse amount ya na food is
and as a computer and quite 500 watts na computer quite saying fridge
titidie no
and the be now so second hand
and yet to
computer say a rice cooker ye 800 watts in the no more back we are see card and
usage
and I over washing machine I think we are there. And you the bread, you know. Is it toast? A friend saying, wait, that it looking like toaster. I said, your friend toaster. Say a man at the end and in the water heater, hand dryer, deep fryer. Good. Into deep fryer, iron, washing machine, hair dryer, and a friend is saying, a hand dryer. Water heater no and no 1,000 watts 1,000 watts back
fridge come 5 so we using the same person or use fridge but you using the same thing you also use back macro be about the ashim
sure
now sha until who said you use but anyasem because using the 3 hours
and say a split AC na split AC na 1,500 watts wo kettle moi and nansan ya ma kettle mu use papa kettle any microwave kettle and microwave 2,000 watts
fridge you 200 we say the compare
fridge 200
yes 1,000
kettle and microwave 2,000 watts in the fridge consumption be 10 times I think the amount what see from this perspective unfortunately sanka was the corresponding amount by now go okay may consume 1,000 water make a say but at least you know say who consume 2,000 water who to about 300 and something Ghana for 200 watts into say 200 watts 300 I mean it's all consume 2,000 water a year by 300 times by 10
That's when that's when
throughout.
Yes. It's one running a Gianni restaurant.
Yes.
Was all top pioneer there. We need to
yes,
to you now, all the bill about no track up and before number. Yes, but to name Yamano, you soon and then a day resource at the brain.
I think ultimately, you know, one thing I say at Tias here is meet an able fear and capture power where you sue. They are power where you sue, and Ghana for no use power, new you meet another bill and neighbors say, hey. Then I'm used to power. And now I am here. Then I'm used to
you be as you see that I am patch or you share your money at fine. But you show you say you share duration. Said you use it.
And having at the back of your mind, say increment abba. From pure house increment or I said all kind of cumulatively, almost 30% increment now. But you should always have that at the back of your mind. Say, who use power? You will low consumption neoma. In the neoma, ensure that cheap power be fan, laptop, computer, laptop, oh, CFL bulbs, ensure that cheap be mobile charger, or charge your phone and cheap be and our LED bulbs and cheap be and now domestic appliances no so at least ohwe wo TV kakra 80 watts bi sound stereo and they abrante pa unyanya dan ya wakwaje stereo na kanea so wanim yiraw
nia consume pa titide na boys suppose I say wo amp no now sound equalizer so much ye tadi ba so ni na consume electricity papa no so no be bo de
nioma na etwe pa no kaibio blender computer with monitor computer ti kopodie no etwe brutal rice cooker washing machine water heater, hand dryer, iron, deep fryer, split air condition, kettle, and a microwave, and who you saw now was so. And a dear a cooker, electric cooker, no. Oh, actually too much. A battery bones was an 8,500 watts. India no dia no a train yes. And one thing as I chat with your man say hours to consume 1 unit of electricity. Into cooking, your friend is saying electric cooker no is so 7 minutes per a consuming 1 unit. And 1 unit of electricity in so no you better reckon another or my bo at the amount. And one who say also we electric cooker so for ebia wo no aduane weekend osi weekend we me ye aduane obehwe na cook next so be 1 hour wawu obeba no na waso aye hye papa india wasa wo hwe saa nneoma ni nyina ebe ya unya chart we na chart we more soft copy of this website website obehu energy consumption chart no o download dia na wa wahu aboa wa ma guide how ube use power because ope wu mpe increment aba in the tariff. Increment yaba in the tariff o bills no ekostro and you have to be aware of sanumi now abuam wetimi a check your consumption.
If in a year dealer gives about $500 million per annum out of the 1.2 billion that is required to buy crude to fire thermal plant. And also, for some reason, more of our generation of electricity comes from thermal sources. Into the other half, you must find a way to adjust tariffs to accommodate it. This is a binding agreement at NPP with the IMF. In fact, it was the reason why a year $360 million. I think the second tranche under the IMF program in December 2024, just before our move power. So we are bound by the agreement made by the NPP. But you see, it is also necessary because we continue to incur unsustainable debt. A car, a double in the electricity sector. But as for the runaway meters, amount for electricity air cost remedy, I am sure that in the coming days to be resolved. Now, Energy Ministry is following closely work being done by ECG to recalibrate the meters performance.
But fellas, would that then means because the IMF program would end this year by June or August. It is a year then you increment bill in tariffs and if your argument that a MPP for the year almost sign you go with that. If that is to go by.
IMF only told the MPP to do what they believe was right in economic management. Because fundamentally, you see, the phenomenon that petroleum sector. Then I'm saying one trade the year of petroleum sector. Unless they be petrol war, diesel war, a copy beyond a certain point. Then they could do 23 cities a gallon and the NPP.
Yes.
But generally, the increase a marginal. A cost of marginal 1%, 2%. Now about from 1%, 2%. The reason is that as far back as 2015, they defend a full deregulation. President Foster say partial deregulation with the setup of the NPA. But under in 2015 and NDC, they have full deregulation, which made it possible for players in the sector to recover their costs. In these days, you hardly hear of any debt in the petroleum sector. The debt is clear because Okoto petrol back 1 cedi. Otonwa unya 1 cedi. And if I clear as a player in the sector, it is the right thing to do. And yes, then we will go into another default, which then causes us to face severe economic crisis. And the NPP. What is necessary? They say the price must be set. When you say a journey the amount for that one will be resolved. But automatic price adjustment as a policy, I think that's a fair policy.